find yourself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So you're off in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds.
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
He's on the outside line, though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now, though, for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's not a second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry!
Oh, welcome back, everybody. It's the Tanso Racing Group Season 3 time, and it's round 3 and 4 here at the Virginia International Raceway, where it'll be commentated from the JP Broadcast Network by myself, Dean Biggles. Callum can't unfortunately be here this weekend for personal reasons, but I do have the Mr. Man, Michael David, here in the booth with me. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing great, Dean. How you doing, Biggles?
Good, mate. Absolutely great. This is a very, very action-packed league with, at the moment, 40 or so plus drivers that are underway for their lone qualifying, as you can see. So we'll obviously get down to the racetrack at the moment. We won't beat around the Virginia International Raceway bush. We'll get straight into the drivers. Now, Michael, this track, how familiar are you with it?
Familiar enough. I actually grew up in Virginia, so I know a little bit about it, but never been there personally. Undulating hills, absolutely beautiful scenery, challenging track. There's a lot of off-camber turns and, you know, blind turns, blind hills, elevation change everywhere you go. So it's a tough track. This car is pretty fun to drive, though, so I think these drivers are definitely going to enjoy their day out there today.
They are. They'll start getting some times on the board at the moment. We're riding with Ollie, who's just starting his flying lap right now. So you'd like to give us a hot lap guide around here there, please, Michael?
Yeah, I could do my best. If I could follow around here. Coming through, it's a tight little section through here. And then you can kind of get up into 4th and 5th gear here. And then this is flat out all the way through up here to the hill. Got to get my bearings straight a little bit here. We're coming into South Bend. Coming up the hill here, you got to be very careful because this oak tree area right here can throw you off very easily. So you get a solid left-hander here, almost flat out, but not quite. Coming up, and you slam on the brakes down here, make that tight right-hander, but you got to kind of double apex it all the way around the tree, which isn't there anymore. And then this is just straight flat out the longest straightaway on the track here. This is just uphill, full out, flat out. Looks like we are not doing the chicane tonight, so no chicane here. So it's just flat out down the back straight.
Yeah, it's going to take. Gives the driver a bit of a breather, isn't it? To stretch your hands there, or something, take your hand off the wheel there, grab a swig of water actually, and then get ready for this braking point here.
Yeah, coming into 14 and 14A, also known as the roller coaster. Just like the hills here just throw you off so much. It messes with the balance of the car. Your traction is always changing here as we come through the final little chicane there into hog pen, and then back out on the front straight here. So that was a pretty solid first lap there, but Harry Fox going a little bit faster there right behind.
And the times are going to start coming on the board there for essentially, as you can see, just a 10-minute qualifying session. So you're only going to get 2 laps at best. Do you think there, Michael? Maybe 3?
Yeah, because once you get out there, you get your pace lap in. It's a 2-minute plus lap time here. You might have 3 if you left right at the start and have just enough fuel, because obviously these guys. Well, is this a fixed setup? That's actually something that I need to clarify. Is this a fixed setup league?
That's a very good question for Callum, that knows generally all that sort of jazz behind the scenes, heavily involved in this one. As you know, you're just stepping in here, Michael, as a reserve. Everybody in the chat there, good luck to the Platinum Boys. Hope it's all as well. Milo, you can tell us about the setup in this league if you'd like that. Arthur's on top of the timesheets at 2:07. You can see the spread goes down to Andy West at about 4 seconds and change after they got their first banker laps, and still a lot more cars to actually get sometimes there. But the thing is, they've had a lot of off-track excursions, so you all know that means your first lap count's not going to count.
Yeah, as soon as you get that off track, it nullifies your lap. So that's just going to hurt you in the long run, especially if you don't get that banker in, because 10 minutes, like you said, not a very long time for qualifying, that's for sure. And it's really easy to get those off tracks here. There's plenty of runoff area in the grass, but you don't really have any grip. So if you kind of run it off track, you're in quite a bit of trouble real quickly. So not like you can.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, while we have a few minutes left before the first of our races, of course, we have a race 1, race 3, and race 4, race 1, race 2, and this one. But real quick, do you want to go over our pro?
Sure.
Our top 5 in the Pro Championship, our top 5 in the AM Championship, and so forth and so forth.
Yep, so right now I'm showing as Harry Fox, currently on top of the championship with 81 points. Right behind him is John Sylvester, 73 points. Ollie Cole coming up in 3rd place, sitting on 67 points. Mark Brown in 4th place, just behind him, 3 points back in 64th. Then Alex Sylvester in with 58 points in 5th place. Then we also have our Pro Teams Championship, Platinum Racing, just like Milo said there in the chat. John Silver and Alex Silver leading the championship right now with 131 points. Pro GT with Aaron Kirby and Mark Brown coming in 2nd place, 9 points back, sitting on 122. Wiskins Racing, brought up by Harry Fox and Neil Rocks, sitting on 121 points. CH Racing with Ollie Cole and Martin Hobson sitting at 100 points. And 5th place in the Pro Teams is Simtech with Daniel Wehrman and Ryan Dudley sitting on 96 points. So that brings us over to the AMs. AM standings overall, Mark Proctor leading us with 78 points. Philip Manachi? Mikanchi. I apologize, Mikanashi. Philip is sitting on 72 points. I do apologize. That is a name that I have never seen before, so I will get that pronunciation lined up and locked down for you. Philip, sorry for sorry for that. Shane Colton coming through in 3rd place with 71 points, tied with Joe Glass in 4th, also on 71 points, and then 2 points back from them, James Pallett with 69 points. Bring it over the AM with the AM Team Championship. There we go. We got Racing League Hub Red with James Pollock and Phillip in 141 points, absolutely dominating the AM's Team Championship up top there. So great job for Racing League Hub Red. BP Racing with Mark Proctor and Stuart Brierly in 116 points. Next Generation Racing, Arton Hadfield and Adrian Hadfield, 109 points. Integrity Racing coming through with in 4th place, Joe Glass and Andy West, sitting on 107 points. And then Double Juice Racers rounds out your top 5 in the AM Team Championship. Sean Clark and JT Johnson sitting on 96 points. We got one more for you. We have a Pro AM Team Championship. We got Winskins Racing, PA, Marcus Law and Shane Cotton holding up the top of the timetables there with 71 points. RF Motorsports, Richard Fluidy and Mark Robinson with 47 points. GP2 Racing, James Bostic and Hussein Saraka Dessler with 43 points. Willfield Racing, Tom Wilson and Jordan Hadfield with 43 points as well. And then 5th place Team JJR, Stanley Jr., Joseph McCormick, rounding out the top 5 there with 29 points.
Excellent. Thank you for getting through that. Some of those names catch us off. As Callum gets them pretty spot on at the moment, you can see the qualifiers. So there's more than 9 drivers at the moment. This is showing some of the drivers for the class because it's very important for this man that we're currently showing on the screen at the moment, which is Daniel Wareham, who's finally got a time on the board and goes right up into P4. So that's a pretty good waiting to the dying stages of a qualifying to get your car in a great position. So GG's to him on that.
There's a wicked fast lap there by Harry Fox, 206.7. Absolutely stunning lap there. Almost 4/10 up on 2nd place.
Should give us a good result there for our race for you to go over there this evening, my friend.
Yep, we got Harry Fox coming through in 1st place, Arthur Turtle in 2nd place, Mark Brown rounding up your top 3, and then Daniel Wareham, like Biggles said, finishing with a very solid lap there to pull up into 4th place. Alex Sylvester sitting on 5th with Michael Johnson in 6th. John Sylvester in 7th place. Ollie Cole coming through in 8th place. Marcus Law in 9th. Ryan Dudley in 10th place. Richard Fluidy in 11th place. And Martin Hobson in 12th place. Go a little further down the field. We got Neil Rocks in 13th. Mark Proctor in 14th. Scott Kostrick in 15th. Hussein Saraka Dessler in 16th place. Joe Glass in 17th. Jane Cotton in 18th place, Jordan Headfield in 19th place, James Powlett in 20th, Arton Headfield in 21st, James Fletcher 22nd, Lee Rylands 23rd, Stuart Brierly in 24th. A little further back there if we can go. Got Andy West in 25th place, Adrian Hadfield in 26th, Gary Linton in 27th, Marcus Richardson in 28th, Richard Knight in 29th, Joe Willoughby in 30th, David Smith in 31st, John Johnston in 32nd, Stephen Derrick in 33rd, Stanley Jr. in 34th, Chris Cutler in 35th, Martin Lee in 36th. And is that our entire field? Oh, that's our entire field. We got through it. There we go.
Great job, of course. I believe it should be switching back over to the top ones there for a second, but we're going to go down to the racetrack, of course. I went through that, didn't I? It's not improv time. But over to you to call the race start there, please, Mr. Michael David. 3 likes, 4 likes, 5 likes, and we are green. So here we go. Cold tire start. Everybody starting up front here. It seems to be getting away pretty well there. Harry Fox having to cut over a little bit. He's under quite a bit of pressure here by Mark Brown. Right off the start here, Mark Brown looking to go on the inside, cuts off the front end of Daniel Werman there. Daniel having a pretty solid start as well, up into 3rd place. And this has been an exciting start. It looks like Ollie Cole might have had an off there in the back. I do see somebody kind of spinning off there. That is the Castrol-themed Toyota GR Celica. I'm sorry, the GR86 there. Yeah, you're right. There's a few other drivers going off the track in the background. We'll see if we get some replays. There's going to be a lot of cars there. It might be very hard to go through and just see what's happened. But more importantly, of course, at the top of the timesheets, drivers are making their way through the first couple of corners. Another battle further back here to there.
Mark Brown getting spun around. Huge. He got real loose there as you pulled away, and this is absolutely going to take care of half of the field.
It has to. Where's anybody going to go? We get a blip camera on that one, but unfortunately some of the drivers have actually just rolled back into the pit road, so... Well, we're going to have to go back and have a look at the replay of that. That was massive, wasn't it?
Yeah, that wasn't the cleanest start I've ever seen, so hopefully these boys
was
can
it Mark
kinda...
Brown who crashed or something like that? Let's have a look.
I saw Mark Brown got real loose there coming through.
Is this the one that caused the massive pile-up behind?
I think so. He gets real loose coming off that curb, but he tries to correct, goes into the tires, and just takes out. He had no place. He was just a driver, and then, he was just a passenger at that point, and takes out half the field. I don't want to say half the field. It wasn't like obviously intentional, but that's 5, 6 cars. Absolutely.
Look at Daniel coming up there after putting a very last-minute lap in here, challenging Harry for the lead here.
Trying to take it around the outside, coming into inside. Oh, there is some contact there. Daniel might have made contact there trying to get past John Sylvester, sorry, John Sylvester.
Yeah, he's
Harry
John.
Fox out to a 3-second lead though already. Okay, why is our timing board off then? I'm showing.
I have to just get out the way you get it there to show all the classes at the moment. It's showing apparently some of the classes, so we'll get that sorted. Don't worry about that.
Because I definitely see another car up front there. Trying to figure out who exactly. It looks like it's Arthur Thurtle. Arthur Thurtle in the 180. So Arthur Thurtle currently second place overall.
We will have to bail. I'll get it sorted.
Oh, not a problem. We'll get through this. Racing's been good so far. Do we have a replay of that start, though? That'd be nice to see now that we're getting a little settled down here.
Try. That's way back in the land ages ago, but we'll have a look.
Daniel getting very squirrely coming off the curbs there. This Toyota 86, the GR86, isn't liking the curbs too much here at on VIR so far. Very loose rear end on this car.
There we go.
Definitely a challenge. He's coming up through the heel. Get quite right there.
Now.
This is
And the
definitely
race start, if you want to see that real quick there. So we'll go
Yeah,
back to
if
this
we have that, yeah.
one at the green flag. Right at race start. Here we go. So maybe the blimp camera might help us a little bit more on this one. See a bog down.
That's definitely been a very good start there for Harry, but under pressure pretty much right away.
Yeah, it goes a little bit pearl-shaped in the back end of the field here, as you can see. A couple of drivers go running off into turn one. That's to be expected, but not too bad. Go back to the live racing action here at the moment. When Harry Fox leads this race, and you can see the battle there for P3 and P4 Brewing. Also, a little bit of a battle further back here with Ryan Dudley. May not be in P14 for too long. There, Michael.
Yeah, no, Ryan Dudley definitely looks like he's making a move through the field here. Ryan Dudley driving that 115, the Castrol, the rally-inspired livery. I do absolutely love that.
Yeah. Well, we'll go back to Mark Procher as well, too, and another Battle Brewing three-way party here for these drivers with Scotty up for grabs. Got to hold off this position at the moment because he's got a charging Scott Korosnik and he's got a charging Ollie Cole.
That's going to leave him wide open on the outside. He's going to lose 3 positions here, it looks like, with Joe Glass coming through as well. And he might even, yep, he was finally gotten back into line there because he was starting to come under permission, attack there by Stuart Brierly.
God, look at the livery there of Scott's car. Whoa!
Oh, they make contact.
Yeah.
Kaboom, I think that's what the car said.
Kaboom, yeah, that was contact kaboom. Unfortunately, the kaboom you wanted.
I do love that livery, like you said, looked like an old comic book.
Kapow, kachow, exactly. Stan. Oh, sorry, a little bit of trying to breathe at the right place at the right time. Here's another little great battle that's brewing up here between Shane Cotton here, Stanley Jr. and Jordan.
Breathing's overrated.
Has lost a place here too, Scott Rostek. Giving the day and taking thus away there from Ryan.
These cars give a very balanced racing. It's very pure, the racing you get between these drivers out here, because it's pretty much just all skill. You have a car, you know exactly what it's going to do. It's not the fastest car out there on the track, but I mean, obviously it is today, as being it's the only car on track today, but it is definitely a handful to handle. And it's just an absolute joy to drive, in my opinion. I do love taking the GR86 out on track, so it just lends itself to great racing. And we're going to see a pass here. Looks like John Johnston getting passed by Adrian Hadfield. Coming up the hill here.
It should be textbook, shouldn't it? You'd think so, but long straightaways, as you mentioned, super long straightaways. So you get that little slip straight, you have to go out and break the dirty air and then try to tuck it in. Couldn't quite get it there. As that's Andy's going around, unfortunately here, that's Adrian Hadfield that's had a little bit of moment
right there,
with the fence. unfortunately. Come back to live actions. Gotta click a lot of buttons with this fantastic league there, Michael. A lot.
Yeah, it looks like we've had quite a bit going on up front here. I'm waiting for my timing tower to kind of settle down.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see what we got going on up front here once we get the chance. Harry Fox was up to a 3-second lead, but now Arthur Thurtle is dropped that down to a 1-second lead. Got around Daniel, or I guess Arthur had been up front there, hasn't he? So Arthur having a great race here. Arthur with a 5,400 IR.
Shane's gone off track too, unfortunately, and this is what's happened because I was just looking at why has everybody gone whisking on by the Whiskas racing team of Shane Cotton, and that's the reason why. That wasn't even
really
scripted,
easy
by
to
the
do
way.
here.
It just flows off the tongue naturally. And well,
Yeah, you gotta be
there's the other one. There's Neil Rocks. He's in the other Whisk racing team.
Whisk.
Makes
me want to go to the kitchen and whisk them eggs for
That's
some breakfast.
I'm not James. You can't be talking about food in a broadcast. Have I get hungry? It's okay. I ate just before, and you can see this. You're going to get to experience some of these fantastic liveries and stepping in. As,
I saw the integrity. I saw the integrity in the practice beforehand when we were kind of just talking about the race beforehand. Saw that a couple times. Definitely got to say I'm a huge fan of South Park, so it has a special place in my heart.
Oh,
Randy
pushed off the track here a little bit as there's Jordan. That was just behind. This is a great little battle. That is brewing for your P16 in all so positions. Of course, you can still see that on the timing table. There are battles occurring for. Essentially, now, as Daniel goes even faster there, it'll be challenging Harry soon to have that gap. You mentioned that, didn't you? Sharp.
Yeah, he's gotten that down quite
what's
a
happened
bit.
to Daniel dropped a couple of places too. We'll keep an eye on this battle for now. We'll go back to what happened with Daniel. He's gone on off-track excursions. We'll see what's happening.
A little hit there by
brewing here.
Looked like Jordan got a little bit loose, and Mark Brown kind of tapped him in the rear end there.
Little loosey-goosey.
Yeah, that happens with the rear end of this 86. If you can get a little off-centered on these undulating turns,
This
these
is
blind
Daniel
turns.
was pushing like crazy. He had the fastest lap as well. Absolutely pushing. Caught Harry, and just like that, unfortunately, caught a little bit too much of the grass there. And all those cars now, Arthur and John, go straight on through. So I don't know if he's going to have enough time. Well, 10 minutes will get himself back up. But look at this party in town brewing. Still here back in the P20 positions, but massively entertaining, as you can see on your screen. Anything goes wrong right now, Michael, somebody's off into the grass, and you can see that costs you a ton of places right now.
Yeah, anything goes wrong, you're
just like
you're
that,
in a lot
my
of
friend.
trouble. Yep,
Just
and
like
that's what, 3 places in one corner.
Andy, yeah.
Yeah, this is a tough track, but it's definitely a fun track. If you can get the flow to it, if you can get a rhythm here, you can be very comfortable and very enjoyable. I do like VIR a lot. It's just it's a tough track to memorize.
It's your neighborhood too. Have you ever been to this track?
I've never been to the track. It's
Wow.
actually where I grew up in Northern Virginia, and this is a lot further south than me, so I never got the opportunity.
The opportunity to go bumping and grinding with
Yeah.
these drivers, at least watch them go bumping and grinding on the track. Is it all forest like this? Like, I mean, it just looks like there's forest everywhere here in Virginia.
Well, I mean, Southern Virginia, yeah, there's a lot of forest. You got the Appalachian Mountains on the west side of the state. So yeah. Lots of hills.
The hills are alive with the sound of turds, and lots of them on this track here for the 3rd round of the Tanso Racing Championship. And Gaza's into the fence. Gaza. What just happened? We caught the pictures live. What happened to Gary? Unfortunately, it's too much speed going to that.
No, too much on the rear end. Just getting loose.
Beans, as James would
Too
say.
many
Here
beans?
it is.
Yeah, he came in way too hot, overshot
yeah.
it. Wasn't ever going to make that corner. He might have just forgot where he was. I've done that a time or two.
Yeah. Well, yeah, drivers are a lot better than me, my friend. I wouldn't even got one lap done yet. Joe, at the moment, right here. There's Joe. He's got Jordan for company, and he might have Jordan up the road anytime soon down at the main straightaway.
Seen Jordan make quite a few overtakes here. He's been assisted by a couple mistakes as well, but quite a few overtakes. It looks like he's taking the inside on this turn right here, coming through the hairpin, and I think that's going to be P14 done and dusted. Yeah. comes out ahead.
Further back, here's this this squabble. Like, I don't know. They got magnets attached to these cars, my friend. They seem to be like just drawing attention to themselves. North and south, south and north.
Yeah, this car lends itself to being very racy. So this can be extremely exciting all the way up and down through the field. I do want to jump up front real quick, Biggles, as we got a battle for the lead. It looks like Arthur has brought down the gap to just about 3 to 4 tenths. And he has John Sylvester for company, so this is a three-way battle for the lead.
It would have been great, I said, to Daniel, because Daniel really put the pressure on, sliced that one down to Harry. And of course, now Arthur and John have continued this battle to turn into a three-way fight, of course, because Daniel's going to have to hover back there. And P4, lonely P4, I'd have to say at this point, with just under, what are we looking at? 12? Well, no, we have less than that now of time left in the race. Do your math on that one. Look at the challenge here. So Harry's not bringing too much pressure into that. It's more of the pressure between John and Arthur.
Yeah, that is a great battle there for second place, but you would think with these two battling this hard that Harry would take advantage and get up the road as quickly as he can, but he doesn't seem to be making any headway.
Well, the 180 machine at the moment there has, it looks like a casino chip on it, so the man has to be gambling on something. What is he going to be gambling on, a P2 or gambling trying to get past Harry? It looks like John might be, if anything. 4 positions gained too, as you can see on your gainers and losers to the right-hand side screen. You say John's smelling blood in the water here in the forest here of Virginia.
Yeah, you can definitely see he's sun on the tail here with Arthur, but Arthur has actually broken away a tiny little bit. He's made up about a tenth on this lap here to Harry Fox. He's really starting to put the pressure on first place. See if he's able to make a move, but it seems like every time he goes to make a move, that's when John Sylvester decides to poke a nose in somewhere and remind him that he's still here.
He made an error out of that corner as well, too, just like that, isn't it? Yeah, you push it, come to one corner, and of course that's an important corner because you've got a long straightaway now here, as I said. This is the time you can pull your phone out there and check your Instagram and Twitter messages and all that sort of jazz, and then get ready for your braking point. Another bit of an accident's heard a little bit further back. I'm seeing a couple of drivers that have crashed. I might have to just skip that for now because I want to see whether or not there can be a run. As I said, isn't it? I think Arthur's more concerned about John here than Harry up the road.
Yeah, so if you're Arthur, you only have about 6 minutes left. Obviously, you don't want to give up the position. He's got the outside line now. He's going to have to back out at some point here. That's going to be job done, most likely for John. Yep, there he goes. If you're Arthur, do you want to maybe let John move up the field a little bit and try to catch Harry? Because you've been having an issue with getting by Harry. You've just been under pressure the whole time from John every time you make a mistake.
It's a good question. It is a good question.
Do you let these two battle and try to take advantage of the them making a mistake? Oh, that is a slow car.
Yeah, a slow car is going to come and bring these 3 drivers into play, and I guarantee there's more action with that. There it is. Richard, unfortunately, had nowhere to go, and that might have ended up being a little bit more tangled. The cars go around the corner. No, luckily there wasn't anybody else on that one. So
now that 88 car looks I guess never mind.
But yeah,
I was gonna say it does look a little bit like the Audi livery, but I could definitely be wrong. I might be reaching on that one. I think I just got all excited over the Celica. And
I mean, there's a lot of liveries to go through here. I can only show you 30 names even on the timing tower because there's not enough space to go down, but trust me, there's more than 30.
Yeah, this is a great field. I love seeing absolutely filled rosters like this. So awesome to see the racing, awesome to see the car, awesome to see the track. It all comes together and just, it's perfect.
Well, here's John.
Opinion.
Unfortunately, I didn't want to go to you, John. I was chatting to John just before, of course. One of the league administrators that's sorting stuff out, and the John star's going off track at the moment. I didn't want to point the camera at you there, John, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. You'd have another race coming up, so don't worry. Oh! And just like that, we go over to Adam and James, wasn't it? Further up the road there. There's Hussein. Yeah. You can say Hussein. Good luck on his surname. That's something that Callum nails perfectly, but I just call him Hussein. I think it's called that. There's James Palak as well. And still up the lead of this race. Now, further up there, you got Scotty gaining 3 positions. Crucial for the Scottish driver, of course, in the Drivers' Championship to gain many positions as possible. With that another cartoon-esque kind of livery, isn't it? That's the Kaboom, wasn't it? No, this is the Kaboom.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, Vroom. I think it says Vroom. Yeah, it says Vroom. Yeah. Wow, Vroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's That's a very inspiring livery. I really like that a lot.
Further back, Gary at the moment. Linton are battling it out there. Two
Right through there
with
is
Shane.
tight. Just gotta hope the traction holds.
He's got
You're asking
flames
so much of the
on the
wheels on this
side, isn't
track.
it? That can actually trick you a little bit because sometimes when you see scrapes like that, you think, yeah, you've had tangle for fence. But that's actually a printed livery on that car.
Well, I believe there's no damage here in these races, so
Actually, Michael,
they
that
don't
gives
really
me a
have to worry
great
about
idea. Why wouldn't you put a livery on your car that looks like you've hit the fence?
that.
You know? Couple like, you know, have it like a livery like this, but have like some scrapes and some things that look like you've bent. And that way your opponents are going to think, hey, he has damage. Look at his car.
I
That could
think
be
if you're like if you're trying to build like a sleeper on like a Tuesday night late night pole run, maybe, but I don't think you're showing up to the track with bangs and bruises all painted onto your car. I think that's just asking for bad juju.
No, why not? I think it'd be fun. Just try something different.
Nah.
I would try
I
camouflage
think I'm a
car
fan.
so it looks exactly like the background. And the green of the forest or something like that as you're coming up
Yeah,
there.
it's not a lime green car, it's a green screen car.
I always say Vanta Black would be the best, isn't it? That Vanta, the black that absorbs 99.9% of the light that the BMW put on the car one time. Because you can have that in the street car, because I don't know, he's going to see you at night time. You haven't got headlights
Yeah.
on. It's essentially, it looks like you're looking into a black hole. Please check it out. It's a special microfiber, and it absorbs literally 99.9% of the light.
I think I'm going to look that up right now.
It is awesome. Yeah, it's a company called Vanta Black. It's very expensive, but they put it on BMW on a car for a thing. And even if you just see it, it's, yeah, you're looking into a
Oh,
black
wow.
hole. It's amazing.
Wow. That's, yeah, Biggles is right. If you get the chance to take a look at this, it is... I need this in my life.
Yeah, imagine having that in like a Le Mans 24-hour race with your lights off. Like, no, but he would probably be able to see the car because you'd see the silhouette of just darkness with the lighting around it. But the battle's still happening here, and this could be the very firing and final dying stages as Harry's got to hold on. I was saying this to James the other day too, like, hold fast. That's what the sailors used to say, of course, back in the day when they were sailing the convict prisoners down to Australia. Hold fast, Harry. As John Sylvester is on a rampage right now. He wants to turn that 5 positions gained into 6 and get a race win. But can Harry hold him off? Will be the question.
He's definitely had a great race start here. He's been doing awesome all race long. Was able to get past Arthur. Maybe Arthur, waited a little too long. He wasn't able to get the job done on Harry. Maybe he made a few too many mistakes, but John Sylvester has just been there to capitalize the entire time. And you got to think, if you're Harry Fox, you got to be quite nervous right now on this last lap. Hope that you're able to just keep a defensive line going the entire way up the hill, because it's going to be rough.
This is going to be a rough one. Our
John.
poor GoPro cameras. These cars are going to be zooming by. Sensational speed. They actually show you like that. Just look at that for a second. How close they are. Look at that. Inches, millimeters, or fractions if you are here in the United States of America. Look at that. But there's a gap starting to form. We'll go back to Cole. So Ollie is also battling it out here for crucial positions between Martin Hobson. And Ollie had a couple off-track excursions. Certainly Ollie's up here in the championship. We all know the old rally livery, don't we? Castrol rally livery. And you kind of are rallying a little bit, but further back I'm going to have to keep an eye on this too, because it looks like Harry might have this one. It's whether or not Arthur and John will hold off or battle each other for that P2 position. Flip a coin, who wants it?
Who's going to be more daring coming into the tight little turn here? And it looks like Arthur is going to be left out in the cold. Door shut by John Sylvester.
Harry at the moment's going, great guys, keep it up please. You can battle it out all day long. I will be super happy. I'll take this race win. We still haven't seen Barney yet, but then again, is he going to see Barney? This will be the... No, he's got it. No, that's the checkered flag. Where's the racing line? There. Catches me off guard all the time, my friend, because I had all these different tracks, but GG's to that one. Now, Daniel, after his off-track excursion, he could have taken this race win as well, but, the track limits the track. Ollie, we're coming away around there to finish off that P5. It was so close, isn't it? And John did get Arthur in the end by 79 thousandths of a second. That squabbler cars will go across there as well.
Yeah, that was a great race. Absolutely stunning. Up front, all action, all race long.
This could be a
And
photo finish between these two drivers as well. Let's have a look. You're going to have Ryan and Stuart coming around the corner here now, so keep your eyes peeled. Does that little bang going to cost him there? It will. That little nudge there, isn't it, to say, unfortunately, around the outside. So Stuart had to finish just behind Ryan Dudley and then Joe Glass, who crossed that one. The next little contingent says Scotty by himself. Yeah, you'll have to wait some time, my friend. Remember, we have 36 drivers in this field and about 34 in this race.
Yep, I'm
Still
just
to cross the line.
trying to sort out in my mind which drivers are the AMs and the pros, just to kind of get a bit of a...
Yeah, driver numbers as well, too. It's also sorted by... But we can't show you the driver numbers at the moment, which I'll probably pull it up, actually. I will pull that up on the screen in a minute, so you can get an idea of the car numbers is what I was looking for. Because that is also going to show you that the drivers that are 100 or more are the pros. Drivers under 100 are the AMs. I think. Don't quote me on that.
It's Michael
one way or
Johnson
the other.
leading the AMs.
It's one way or the other.
No, I believe you're right, because Harry Fox is definitely a pro. Arthur Thurtle, definitely a
There you
pro.
go.
So, yeah, you had it. Nailed it right there. So, Mark Johnson coming through as your AM leader. Mark Proctor right behind him. And then Stuart Brierly taking up the third spot in the AMs for that first race. Harry Fox, John Sylvester, and Arthur Thurtle obviously taking the podium in the overall event. So great racing all the way up and down the field. We saw quite a few people making mistakes, getting a little off track, getting a little squirrely. But that's just the nature of the beast here at VIR. It's so easy to do. And once you're on the grass, it's like ice. So we got a 5-minute warm-up here.
Yeah. I love this, 5-minute warm-up. I love this camera that you see here in VIR. Like, it's the only track I know where they point it right up at the trees there. Show you, like, this is like the classic, Virginian, what do you call it? Like, atmosphere in the United States of America. Because, of course, people are used to New York City, Miami, Los Angeles, and all those places like that. And you go up north, of course, you have more of the colder tracks. And then you see this. It's like, it just feels like you're just in... I wouldn't say outback, but I wouldn't say the Panama jungle either. But it's just nice. You're like Urfi. Urfi would be this track.
Yeah, Virginia is a beautiful state. I love Virginia. Driving through, like I said, I've never personally been to VIR, but I've driven through the state of Virginia a million times. I absolutely love the state. I grew up in Northern Virginia. So it's very hilly. There's tons of foliage. The weather is crazy at times. Let's go ahead and go over these Heat 1 results, though. Harry Fox taking the overall win. John Sylvester in second. Arthur Thurtle in third place. Daniel Wehrman in fourth place. Ollie Cole coming through in fifth place. Martin Hobson in sixth place. Michael Johnson in seventh place. That's your AM leader. Mark Proctor in eighth place. AM second place. Ryan Dudley in ninth place. Stuart Brierly coming through, and overall in 10th place, your third place for the AMs. Joe Glass in 11th. Lee Rylands in 12th. Scott Kostrick in 13th place. Jordan Hadfield in 14th. Joe Willoughby 15th place. Shane Cotton in 16th. Ayrton Hadfield in 17th. Andy West in 18th place. We move a little further down the field. We got Mark Brown in 19th, Neil Rocks in 20th, Marcus Law in 21st, Marcus Richardson in 22nd, Gary Linton in 23rd, Hussein Sarakar Dessler, I apologize, Hussein, in 24th place, John Johnston in 25th, Stephen Derrick in 26th, and Stanley Jr. in 27th, Martin Lee in 28th.
Good job.
If anybody has a proper pronunciation for Hussein's last name, please put it in the chat. I would greatly appreciate it. I don't want to butcher his name. But yeah, that was definitely a great first race there. But just kind of want to go back to my 1 point real quick. Growing up, we used to drive through the middle of nowhere in Western Virginia all the time. And it was just the most beautiful backcountry roads. Like, they're so fun to ride. It's just, if you ever get a chance to just drive through the country of Virginia, like, not the country of Virginia, but like the country rural areas of Virginia, there are some beautiful spots back there.
Excellent. It does. It's like it's a U.S. is a very heavily populated, especially places like Texas, stuff like that. It's surprising if you can drive somewhere for so long and not see a person or see anything. But just nature is great, considering on the East Coast there, and it's all heavily populated. Well, it's a nice thing. You kind of think that you'd have to go to somewhere like Montana or something to like just drive for an hour and not see a person. Australia, that's easy, mate. You just go anywhere in the outback. You won't see anybody for ages, but in the States, there's also.
I gotta say,
go ahead.
I gotta say, where I grew up, I was about half an hour away from DC, give or take traffic. We're not going to talk about DC traffic, but you know, I was about half an hour, 45 minutes outside of DC, and I grew up there. But it's interesting because you can literally go one way and be in the middle of the city and go the complete opposite direction and be in the middle of nowhere. And it was a great experience. You know, I know a lot of different types of people because of, you know, that different variation of, you know, the Northern Virginia DC aspect. I don't know. It's very interesting.
That's cool. Because I lived in New York for about a year or so, and you know, when you're in Manhattan and New York, there's people everywhere. Of course, you're just people. But I got an opportunity to go upstate New York with some buddies that had a house up there, so we could kind of get away from it and experience some of you know, the United States of America countryside per se. And that was a lot of fun. I haven't got a chance once again to go to Virginia. You're not living there anymore, are you?
No, I'm actually a little further south. I'm in South Carolina now.
South Carolina, all right.
Yeah, I'm Myrtle Beach actually. I'm right on the beach.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? And how often can you go? I mean, you have oysters and that sort of stuff, don't you? In there, is it? No. What's it famous for?
We have plenty of seafood.
Seafood. Yeah. Gotta come visit you,
Myrtle
mate.
Beach
You're
is
gonna have to
kind
cook up we'll go a whole seafood run one day.
Yeah, sure. The only problem, Myrtle Beach is just really touristy, so I like it here.
You could take me to the secret spots that the tourists don't know. That's what I would do in Australia. I'll take you to some places that all the tourists go one
Mom
place.
and pop shops.
We go on somewhere else. Get some fish and chips on the beach in Australia. Did that a lot, actually, in some great places. This is warm-up at the moment, and that warm-up is about to finish. That's why you're going to see those cars. So once again, we'll go through the grid results for our fourth race for the season. Michael?
Joe Willoughby coming through. He's going to start first place. Jordan Hadfield in second place. Scott Kostrick in third place. Lee Rylands in fourth place. Joe Glass in fifth place. Stuart Brierley in sixth place. Ryan Dudley in seventh place. Mark Proctor in eighth place. Michael Johnson in ninth place. Martin Hobson in 10th place. Ollie Cole in 11th place. Daniel Wareham in 12th place. Arthur Thurtle in 13th. John Sylvester in 14th. And Harry Fox in 15th place. So it is a reverse top 15 grid for the second race here. That is where they reverse of where they finished there in the first race. Shane Cotton in 16th, Ayrton Hadfield in 17th, Andy West in 18th, Mark Brown in 19th, Neil Rocks in 20th, Marcus Law in 21st, Marcus Richardson 22nd, Gary Litton in 23rd, Johnson in 25th, Stephen Derrick in 26th, Stanley Jr. in 27th, Martin Lee in 28th, James Fletcher in 29th, James Powlett in 30th, Ryan Flutie in Richard Flutie in 31st, Alex Sylvester in 32nd, Adrian Hadfield in 33rd, and we have green. No, we don't have green. We do have green. The lights are out. Away we go. That was
catching everybody off guard. That doesn't matter. It goes fast. Ed Furious
look
here.
at that. 4 wide there already. 4 wide. 3 wide coming into turn 1. This is going to be very dicey. A lot further back through the pack. Up front, they are starting to try to single file out a little bit. As I say that, they go right back to 3 wide. So this is definitely a very exciting race, and I think we've had plenty of drama already there in the back of the field. We might have to get a replay of something or another, but right now we're looking at Joe Willoughby lead Scott Kostrick and Jordan Hadfield, who's under pressure by Ryan Dudley. Ryan Dudley up from 7th place all the way up into 4th place right now, gaining multiple spots here. We're going to take a look here. The most gained up in the top 5 there, Ryan Dudley, as Joe Willoughby and Scott Kostrick coming together. Very close racing here. Just the 10th between the two of them as we start this race here. The second race is already started off a little cleaner than the first race, though. I definitely seem to remember quite a bit more chaos going on at the start of the first race.
Some fantastic racing, isn't it? Absolutely amazing there. Blimp camera's probably going to give us a little bit more indication of what's going on. So many cars. Yes, so much action at the start, but we'll try to get back down on that one for a replay. 25 minutes for our feature race, so don't you worry. We should have some time. Sometimes I say should because there's so much action.
It looks like Ollie Cole got pushed out a little bit there. Towards the back half of the top 10, but Joe Willoughby doing a very good job, but going to be under pressure here by Ryan Dudley here momentarily. Dudley in that Castrol livery all the way up from 7th place. up into second. And there was some contact there. We might need to get a replay of that because that was a very oof. Yeah, that's not going good for Joe Willoughby.
Here it is. That's a little bit of contact. That's a little bit of a oops, my bad moment there. We have to go back to live pitches.
Quite the save, though.
So much action happening a little bit right here, right behind. You got Ollie in there. You got Mark Procher, Harry Fox, of course, the race winner from the first heat, making his way back up 7 positions gain on that reverse 15 grid, doing amazing jobs. Like I said, but then again, he's got a kerfuffle of cars, as you said, like almost like traffic in the United States around DC at this point.
There ain't much that's like DC traffic, I'll tell you that much. I've been in traffic jams at 4 o'clock in the morning, so yeah. That is very loose, and that car got whisked away.
Just like that. Yep, I like the pun. I'm not quite sure if Harry liked it too much, but it is what it is. As the battlegrounds resume here in Virginia, and they will continue to resume for the remaining 17 or so minutes left in this race. So it's going to be almost survival of the fittest, isn't it, at this point? As Michael in the booth and Michael on the track here, the Texan of Michael Johnson. And that's good to see. Old Mikey up here, and can't miss that purple fix machine.
Yeah, I know we kind of missed it there, but Jordan Hadfield actually had an amazing save just moments ago. It was kind of towards the back of the track, but he was the one that kind of got knocked into. It wasn't Harry Fox. It was, I think it was Daniel Wareham.
Oh, is that where Dan went off the track a little bit? Well, I had to go back to that one.
Oh, we see another.
Yeah, in the back.
Another spin there in the back there. Yeah, and this is definitely a war of attrition so far.
David Smith, I think, little switcheroo here, and I'll tell you what, they're going to get something on with that because you got Michael Johnson, Jordan Hatfield there, and Ollie Cole all bunching up in company here. We're right on board right now, just a little bit here with Ollie to give you a perspective of what it feels like to be in a battle for the top 5, essentially at this point. Look at the exit speeds, just how much is scrubbed if a little tiny mistake like that. Oh, 3-way now for sure. What do you think, Michael? It's going on.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be tight. I think Ollie is going to just go for glory here. I don't think he's backing out. He's got the inside lane. He's able to pull it through. I think he's going to be able to take this position. Michael's got to leave him space, and he did. He left him space, and it looks like they come through clean.
Wow. Great
Ollie
racing.
Cole with a great move there. That was very brave, but he had the run down the straight.
What about this one? I kind of foresee something going a little pearl-shaped here with this amount of cars into one corner. As you'll see, Michael, they have proved this before. Oh, sorry, I spoke too soon. There it is. Who was that? That's...
I think it was Lee. Yeah, Lee Ryland's going around there.
Oh, no.
The 30 car, it looks like he spun it up a little bit, having a bit of a hard time getting back on track. Now, thankfully, there is no damage here. So these drivers are able to kind of just keep on going.
There's Alan.
And that's Ayrton Hadfield.
Alex is in that one too there after Turtles back in and resuming here with Michael Johnson. And Jordan Hadfield just a little bit behind. Now, Arthur getting a little bit of screen time again because obviously he's man, he's quick, he's fast, and he's furiously trying to get his way around.
He doesn't have to worry about Harry Fox anymore either, so this is definitely working out in his favor, and there is a loose car right behind him. That is Jordan Hadfield getting loose, able to save it a little bit, but he's going to lose quite a few positions here. This is probably going to put him outside of the top 10 by the time we get down to the end of the straight here.
Do you remember this Benson and Hedges livery? It's similar to a Benson and Hedges car back in the day in Formula 1, actually, but I can't remember specifically which one.
I'm not 100% sure I recognize that one. Is that kind of the black and yellow looks like a Renault maybe?
Jordan.
Is it Jordan?
I think
Okay.
Eddie Jordan's car, yeah. And he's once again giving it to Joe Glass up the road there. And Hussein, of course, with the best name in the business that I think you might have nailed before. And of course, there's Dan the man
Rockar
behind
Dessler?
him. Dan the man
I don't think
behind
I'm nailing
him.
it. Daniel Wareham. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely been flying, but he's had quite a few issues tonight. So, decent recovery drive if you can get back into the top 10 here.
He had the pace.
Probably
he had the fastest
tried
lap
to-
on the previous one, so we know he's got it. It's just he made that mistake on his own. Remember on that first heat,
Yeah,
so
this is true.
pushed it too much. Risk it for the biscuit. and unfortunately didn't have his tea and biscuits for the heat one.
I love how much trust these drivers have. They're able to go everywhere on this track, almost 2 wide, some places 3 wide. And yeah, we've seen plenty of incidents happen, but it's been mostly clean racing. And a lot of people just kind of catching themselves out. So, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a couple incidents for the stewards to check out after the race. But overall, I think this has been a great evening of racing, great battling up and down the field. And I'm excited to be here.
It's an exciting league. Some of the drivers are going into pit road right now. It is absolutely exciting because of the fact that you have so much of a spread of field. Of course, we do have those different classes. That's why you kind of separate. But the classes are also in the mix. So you're getting some AM drivers with some pro classes. You're getting some mistakes, as you said, that drivers are making. But overall, mainly 90% of this time, as you said, those mistakes are just the drivers on their own.
I want to give a shout out. Yeah. Milo, how are the PRT boys doing? I just saw that, bud. John Sylvester and Alex Sylvester. John Sylvester is up into 6th place here. Alex Sylvester is down in 27th place, up 5 positions from where he started this race, though. So he is at the back of the pack, but he's up 5 positions. John Sylvester in 6th place overall right now, up 8 positions from the start of this race. So that's how they are doing. And then Alex, evening guys. Benson and Hedges was title sponsor for Jordan, so he went ahead and backed you up there. There you go, Biggles.
Thank you. As a kid watching Formula One on television a lot there, kind of get to know some of it. Every once in a while I get it wrong. It's not Oh, Jordan! Sliced on by of Hussein. You make a little bit of a mistake there, and you'll seize that opportunity. As James would say, you leave the door open, you get burgled, don't you?
Yeah, he definitely got real loose there, but we were talking about that earlier in the race here as we see Castrol on Castrol. Yeah. Let's go rallying.
Yeah, exactly. Left, right, over jump, maybe. Isn't that what they used to call it? Who your co-pilot would call you out in the rally cars? I can't remember what it would be like.
Something like that, but we won't go there.
What are you saying? You got it all wrong? You would not allow me to
I'm just saying,
be your co-pilot for
honestly,
a rally?
I've asked you to be the co-pilot for a rally before. You turned me down.
Oh. Yeah. Probably, I didn't want to be flipping upside down and having to be rescued further back. Harry Fox, of course, is still bringing it in this one for the whisk. We've seen the whisks machine, whisking it in the wrong places at the right places. And I remember good battling there for Harry Fox. Of course, the man you said had done the first race. Got the first race victory.
Definitely plenty of time here, but back there at 13th place. Yep, just like you said, plenty of work to do. But he's got his teammate right behind him, Neil Rocks. So see if they're able to work their way up through the field.
Go back to that one. Good call. A lot of teammate battles occurring here at the moment, isn't it? Argy-bargy moment here.
Yeah, and if you're Hussein, you've been having a pretty good race for the most part, but looks like your wheels might be falling off or something. Well, no, they don't have any damage, so there wouldn't be any tire wear, right?
I'm not a driver.
I don't ever do. Yeah, let me know in the chat if there's no damage on. Does that mean there's tire wear as well? That is something that I don't have very much experience in. I apologize.
Oh, look at this fopple of cars. I think we're going to ride on board. Whoa, Arthur.
Arthur got very loose there on the
Michael had to lift off big time, didn't they? And I guess it's because of those shiny, glossy liveries that they both have there. Let's go on board with John, have a look at John's perspective for what's going on the road there. What's John going to be able to do? He's got to think, okay, well, there's pit road entrance there for Michael.
Michael going in. So they do need the pit. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that tire wear is on. So we're seeing that I have to jump in the pits pretty early, too. This is only 11 minutes into this race, so... Ollie Cole taking the lead from his teammate Ryan Dudley. Ollie Cole up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spots. Battles here with Ryan.
Stressful, wouldn't you, if you were the team engineer right now going, come on, guys, don't take each other out. It's like, it's just like watching, what is it? It's the Red Bull.
Jim Stroll. Jim Stroll racing. That's okay. I see you, Ollie.
Yeah, you would feel like you're, the chief, who is it, the boss of Red Bull when you're looking
Christian
at
Horner.
Christian Horner, yeah, watching Mark Webber or Sebastian Vettel and the other drivers going for it tooth and nail. Of course, you won the race, but at the same time, team thinking about, we need money in our bank account for the team championship. So, come on, guys. Oh, I can't believe you didn't go side by side through here.
Yeah, absolutely. Flat out all through here, and then kind of slowing down here, coming up to the hairpin. This is such a tough turn right here, in my opinion.
You got to get it right too. You get the exit wrong.
Oh yeah.
You got like what, an hour and change down the road essentially to get to the next corner.
Yeah, this is the most important exit over by where the oak tree used to be. And yeah, that's
I thought they were all oak trees. No, I can't determine.
that
tree's
specific
tree.
hairpin has a tree. And I think they recently took it down.
Do you know about the lone palm tree in
the
Interlagos?
oak tree at 12? No, I don't.
Oh.
I did not know there was a lone palm tree in Interlagos.
There is a lone palm tree. Yeah, but at the moment.
Was doing actually a little testing for at Interlagos earlier today, actually.
I'm changing it over here as well. Yeah, it's on turn 7 or turn 8. It's actually called the lone pine, but it's a palm tree. But in Brazilian translation or something, it is that. It's on. It's inside the barriers too. Believe it or not, it has its own little barrier. At the top of the hill on turn 11, something like that. You catch it one time. I've done burnouts around it before.
Nice.
But it's off the racing firing line, so you're never ever going to see a car smack into that. But what you might see at the moment is an exchange of route between John and Arthur on your timing tower for P3 and P4.
Yeah, this has definitely been a pretty solid battle. We saw it in the first race, John and Arthur going tooth and nail. So these two drivers definitely know each other pretty well. It looks like they're definitely comfortable with going side by side through these corners in this very loose car. So it's exciting racing, and Arthur getting the better of John so far in this one. Well, at least currently at the moment, with 13 minutes and 40 seconds done in this second race here. We jump back to James Fletcher a little further back.
Yeah, I was going to have a look at Mark, actually, a little bit further up, see if he's going to make his way up to try to catch their Richard Flutie. As some of the other drivers further back there. I do apologise. I have, for some reason, I have Adrian Hatfield and Arton Hatfield together. And hope I got all that correctly at the moment there, because obviously they're siblings somewhere along the line, or they're related.
That would be my guess. I want to shout out to, as long as the timing tower is correct now, we are going through some pit window times here. Yeah. So things are a little bit convoluted, but according to the timing tower right now, Shane Cotton in 6th place is currently the AM leader. Ollie Cole and Ryan Dudley obviously fighting out up front there for the overall lead of the pros and the overall race itself. But a little further back here through the pack, Richard Flutie. We're going to jump on with Daniel Wareham. Daniel is got Scott Kostrick for company, trying to get up into the top 5 here. Daniel had a tough start to the race, but and there he goes. I'm sorry, that is Daniel getting around Shane Cotton. I apologize. Yeah. So now he sees Scott Kostrick up the road. So definitely making quite a few moves up 6 positions.
I'd have to say Dan's probably the fastest. He had the fastest lap in the first race before he pushed it for a little bit too much. So, I'll tell you about pushing it a little bit too much. That is unfortunately Hussein. That has pushed it too much out of that corner there here in your neck of the woods there, your old school neck of the woods there in Virginia. Jordan's going to be side by side with Neil Star. Yes. Almost going in the corner, and obviously just behind up the road from them too. You've got Harry Fox and Joe Glass going for it too. So I think the best way to look at that is actually to right on board at the moment with one of those drivers, and let's go right on board with Neil.
And this gives a view of all 3 cars ahead of you. And then back out there, there's a bit of a weird kind of braking point there from Jordan. But everything looking a little better, a little cleaner here. Coming through this little chicane, and then you got to tuck it in right to the curbs here. And then you got to be really careful, because the rear end of this car does not like the curbs too much. It's really easy to get squirrely over them. So that's a tough sector in this car.
We've sometimes get a perspective from how the curbs feel when the car goes over them at 1,000,000 miles.
Yeah, gotta love that that trackside camera. You know, you see it a lot in NASCAR where they put it in the apron. You got the cars flying over you at 180 miles an hour.
And you know that Michael, of course, because Michael here is stepping in, of course, for Callum that could not be here this evening. Of course, Callum would love to be here this evening for this racing league. He's going to be loving to see a potential overtake of Mr. Daniel on Scotty. And I think Scotty's going to be like, wow, that was a great overtake. But he's going to be more worried right now with Shane Cotton behind him.
Yeah, Shane Cotton is right behind him. And I apologize. No, that's actually Harry Fox right behind him, is it not?
You might be more correct on that one than me. No, Harry Fox 2 seconds changed.
Oh
down
yeah,
the road.
Harry. Yep, you're right. I apologize. That is Shane Cotton. Oh, somebody was off there. Not sure who was off, but might have been one of the.
I think it was John Johnson. A little bit further back on the field, that one, yeah. Just bringing it in one day. Hussein's coming back at this one after his off-track excursion we saw just before.
It's on Alex Sylvester, who is up quite a few positions. Alex Sylvester now up 15 points, or up 15 spots for Milo checking in on the PRT boys.
Yeah.
John Sylvester in 14th, or I'm sorry, in 4th, and Alex in 17th.
Yeah, good job. Thank one. We can keep an eye on that one. These two, I haven't been focused too much on this one because I honestly think his teammates, Ollie and Ryan, are just having a little bit of, playing with their food moments.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
been
they are
argy
getting
bargy,
very.
but I'm just wondering if you're thinking like how much time are they losing to Arthur that's in P3. Look at that. That little squabble might have cost about at least 3 tenths, 4 tenths. So they got to be thinking about, hey guys, we're in a great position here at the moment. We cannot afford to A, take each other out, B, lose too much time to this battle that's brewing between Arthur and John, because we know that John's got some serious pace here, and Arthur's well aware of it. Trying to hold John off here currently at the moment. 18 minutes out of the 25 remaining.
This has been a great battle through the first race and all the way through this race. These guys were able to battle up through the field, obviously starting towards the back half of the front 15.
Well, this is going to be close. Where did he get it done here?
This is
He's
definitely going to be tight.
As soon as you brake, you get out there in the air, it just feels like you just put your head out of a window of a moving train, isn't it? At 300 kilometers an hour, you just feel like, ooh, pushing you back out of your seat. And John doesn't want to risk it like that because he knows how much speed he's going to be scrubbed, isn't it? He's going to do it right now. He's going to tuck in behind. Just sit here. Had to lift off a little bit, of course. You can't be doing bump drafting like that through these corners, of course. Otherwise, both of you go on the fence. And they have done it. They have done it there. Michael, I was going to say, this little squabble between Ryan and Ollie up here as teammates is not helping them anymore because Arthur's now in play. Look how close Arthur's getting. John's in play. Daniel's 6 seconds and change. Daniel's got some pretty quick time, but I'm not quite sure he's going to get it done in time. But that team squabbling, perhaps, may cost almost both these drivers a potential race win because Arthur's coming in town.
Yeah, they're both going. They just put in 208s just back-to-back there for the two teammates, and Arthur and John Sylvester just put in 206s. So that's it's over 2 seconds. It looks like they actually gained on that lap alone.
Good
so
call. Michael's right on top of that one, isn't it?
This has got to be something that they have to pay attention to.
What do you do as a team engineer? You're like, come on, guys, get on with it, race. Now, if Ollie feels he's faster, go. If Ryan feels he's faster, go. But either way, your nerves would be there going, we're not going, right, guys, come on. We can't afford to potentially lose this one to the other two drivers down the road. I mean, what's going through the drivers' minds?
P1, P2, they're not teammates?
Oh, they're in the same livery. You'd expect them to be.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
See, I apologize. I'm just filling in today. I assumed that since they were in the same livery, I assumed they were teammates. But
it would make perfect sense, but obviously not.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good to see racing here. Oh, bad exit. Arthur could seize that opportunity here.
Oh, that is correct. That is correct. Ollie Cole is on CH Racing with Martin Hobson and Simtech Racing featuring Daniel Wehrman and Ryan Dudley. So Ryan is teammates with Daniel. So this is not a teammate battle. These two are battling out. Thank you, Milo, who also shouts out, "Let's go, John." So, yeah, sorry about that, guys. Glad we could clear it up. And
it's more on me. I was crunching those numbers and those drivers a million miles an hour. Couldn't quite get it through just in time. But further back there is another little battle program.
They might have just touched there. I think they came out all right, but it looked like they might have touched there for a moment. But yep, like you said, a little further back.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you kind of cover everybody as much as possible. Of course, in a league with 40 or so drivers, you don't want to just like be focused on the lead the whole time. So there are the gladiators out on track. But at this point, it's so tight at the top of the timesheet. You got to have your eyes glued to this one there, Mikey.
Yeah, no, this is definitely coming down to the last 3 minutes here. It's going to be extremely tight. Ollie taking the lead here, but Ryan and Ollie have been going back and forth. And this, like you said earlier, is just bringing Arthur and John closer and closer. Both of them smelling blood in the water now. Both of them obviously have tons of pace. All 4 of these drivers are pros. All 4 of these drivers know what they're doing. And it's going to be tough here, but I would be very surprised to see both of those Castrol liveries on the podium at this point. I think Arthur and John are going to kind of peek their way into here, and in these last 2.5 minutes, I think this is going to be a heartbreak for somebody coming up soon.
It's great racing between them. They're doing their absolute best, but look at that. Now everybody's separated by literally a second, I'd say, between the whole spread of this field. Look at that timing table. Blink and you miss it, making a mistake right now, and you're down to Daniel in P5. And maybe even Dan will steal that position away if you make a mistake. So, oh, and there it is! Ollie has gone off track in this mix of the 4. And you called it, Mikey. That's all on you.
I did call it. I'm sorry, Ollie. I just had a feeling. Oh man, that is tough too. He just lost the rear end just enough to get on the grass, and that just ruined his race. And
now it looks like Arthur's going to steal the other position away, maybe. So just like that, the comfortable lead between Ryan and Ollie. Now Ollie's down. Ollie's actually behind there, so Daniel got him. Harry got him. He's in P6. He's going to have to sit there and hold off that P6 position with the dying stage of this race. Ryan now has to hold off a very, very quick Arthur. And Arthur's setting up the inside there, Michael.
Yeah, Arthur's going to be long gone and dusted on this one. He's got the move done already. It's just going to bring John Sylvester up into the play here. They do come together, but Ryan is able to hold on. I'm not sure who was turning into who there, but that was definitely tight.
Oh, it is absolutely brewing here. I thought you're supposed to be a little bit cooler here in the forest of Virginia, but it's like the outback Australia. It's so hot. It's be hot inside these. Imagine the heart rate in these drivers right now, knowing essentially any one of these 3 drivers right now can win the feature race. Any.
I can promise you, in the middle of the summer, Virginia is not cool.
All right, fair enough. I tell you what, it's not certainly cold in these drivers right now. If we're going to ride on board there with John, having a look at the perspective at the moment. Now he knows he can win this race. Arthur's not that far up the road. Ryan's there. Now he's got a breather from Daniel. You know, Ollie had a little mistake, and Ollie's now no longer in this 4-way party. The party is now skipped a chair. If you do the dancing chair party routine there, 1 less chair and 3 remaining. What do you reckon? We stop the music, Michael, and remain 2 chairs?
No, I think I think I'm gonna keep my mouth shut when it comes to that, because I just my heart goes out to Ollie there. That was a tough tough situation there to get kind of from 1st to the 6th like that, just because he got a little loose and got on the grass. And yeah, I'm sorry, bud.
I was going to say, I was like, when the music stops, I hope there's a chair for some of these drivers remaining. As Scotty's going to be building up Neil Rocks as well, too. So just real quick, I want to see how that action will brew before we get to the finale brew. Are we on the final lap? I didn't see my mouse flashing there. Oh, wow. This is going to be absolutely amazing. I have to go to Chopper Cam and see how these cars are going to navigate their way into this turn there, Mikey.
Yeah, 3 wide is not going to work here. Oh, Ollie had to back out there.
You knew it was going to happen, didn't you? Who got the wrong end of the stick on that one? Unfortunately, Ollie did. He's fighting too hard, but Arthur crossed the line, and Arthur did win it. I'm really disappointed that I missed that one there. Sorry, but the job is done. I thought my mouse didn't flash and tell me it was the last lap. I'm going to talk to iRacing.
I blame Barney.
Yeah, Barney. What about Neil Rocks?
And that was some great racing.
Neil Rocks cars, on the dying stages. This was the line. Boom. Scotty did hold off there and beat the driver. What about Richard? Richard's going to be very, very close here. This could be a photo finish. Get your cameras out there. What's the shutter speed set at? Richard time.
Yeah, Richard.
I'm going to skip back to it because I want to see if this 310s can be sliced on the line as well too. Way further back here. Speedway too, because you can see on the timing tower at the moment. We're just going to try to see the dying stages of the action of the dying corners of this final race here this evening here in BIR. Michael's old backyard. Michael probably used to play in the sand or around one of those trees there when he was a young puppy, but today he's going to sit back and relax and watch the great racing we had here at the Tanso Racing League. And I don't think, his hand's going to do anything about that one. But Arthur has done it. And done it in style. Well,
That was absolutely
not really
great
style.
race up and down the field.
He had to earn his money. He didn't need paycheck on that one, my friend. That was not gifted.
Up 12 spots. John Sylvester up 11 spots. Harry Fox in 5th place up 10 spots. Neil Rocks in 7th place up 13 spots. Shane Cotton up 8 spots. That's your AM winner, by the way. Shane Cotton coming through in 1st place for the AMs. Joe Glass in the Tegrity Racing car coming through in 9th place, 2nd place overall for the AMs. And that leaves James Fletcher, I believe, as your 3rd AM podium down there in 13th place.
And we'll get those results to you through right now on cue there, Mr. Michael David. Well,
Yeah, Harry
one
Fox
second.
coming through. And
I need to show everything, not just oh, there you go. Go ahead, Michael. Sorry. Round 2. Action.
There we go. The feature results. Arthur Thurtle coming through in 1st place. Ryan Dudley in 2nd place. John Sylvester in 3rd place. Daniel Wareham in 4th place. Harry Fox rounding out your top 5. Scott Kostrick in 6th place. Neil Rocks in 7th. Shane Cotton in 8th. Joe Glass in 9th place. Ollie Cole in 10th place. Richard Flutie in 11th place. Martin Hobson in 12th. James Fletcher in 13th. Alex Sylvester in 14th. Michael Johnson in 15th. Martin Lee in 16th. Mark Brown in 17th place. Stuart Brierly in 18th place. We got Marcus Law in 19th, Ayrton Hadfield in 20th, James Powell in 21st, Mark Proctor in 22nd place, Jordan Hadfield in 23rd place, Gary Litton in 24th place, Adrian Hadfield in 25th place, Hussein Sarakar Dessler, I apologize if you can get me a pronunciation for that. I really appreciate it. Coming through in 26th place, John Johnson in 27th place, Andy West in 28th place. And we're going down all the way to 29th place with Lee Rylands, David Smith in 30th, Joe Willoughby in 31st, Richard Knight in 32nd, Marcus Richardson in 33rd, Stephen Derrick in 34th, Stanley Jr. in 35th, and rounding out the field, Chris Cutler coming through in the 82 for 36th place.
Amazing. What an absolute cracker of a race. We'll see if we get some of those drivers in for an interview, of course, because we always want to hear from those, I would say, gladiators, soldiers, Minutemen? Is it called here in the United States of America? I mean, I did a casting race the other day. I call them samurais. I don't know.
Just like American Warriors? I don't know. Like,
I don't know. But it is the VIR. And was absolutely 2 races. So Arthur getting that one down there. Ryan, John. That's in the first one. We'll see in a second if we get everybody in for an interview. Just see if we can grab them by the scruff of the neck there. Now, I know you've come in here and substituting there, Callum. It couldn't quite make this race here, Michael, but you have the permission to get like those old school, you know, those hooks that they used to pull them on stage with back in the movies. That's what you do. You yank them in there. This is like an obligation in the racing league. You have to chat to the race victors or not.
I'm not seeing them.
No. Letting the team down here at the moment. Maybe, you know what they're doing right now? They're probably watching the Indianapolis top 6 shootout qualifying for the Indy 500. That's what they're doing. It should not be.
Yeah, Indy is next weekend. Qualifying is going on. Well, it went on this afternoon. Is it still going on?
It's on now, yeah. That's the top 6 shootout would be going probably on right now. And then, of course, the race that'll dictate who will be in that position for the race next weekend. But we don't do IndyCar, of course, anymore, unfortunately, because we all know the drama that's going on between the licensing and all that jazz, unfortunately, as you know, Michael, because you do a lot of the oval racing here at JPB Broadcasting Network. Anybody going to come in for an interview? Let's have a look.
Actually, I haven't done any oval racing in a while.
I thought you were casting in one of the oval racing leagues.
No, right now I'm just doing F1 and GT3.
Oh yeah, and I'll be joining. I'll be back. Are you joining you this week? Because James, of course, the main boss man, is going on holiday. Remember, James is going to Spain.
That's true. That's true.
And he has to do that podcast because we hit over 1,000 subscribers. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe because we're at 1.1k already. James, give us a food cast, of course, that we've been asking for. As you know, Michael, he can't get like 10 minutes into a broadcast without James talking about food or something like that. And on top of that,
the man definitely loves his McDonald's. I'll say that.
I love that. You know, go back and watch some of those Lightspeed racing debates that you guys have as well too, because I love it. It's the same debate that I have with James as well too about is that Glock moment in Interlagos. I love how you guys also, fairly, obviously fairly debate about, what you think is correct, what you don't think is correct.
Yeah, me and the boss man don't seem to agree on a lot of tracks.
I
I've
know,
noticed that
it's
recently.
great.
Apparently he doesn't like a lot of the tracks that I like. And
It's
I like the tight.
entertaining.
Yeah, and it doesn't make any sense because his favorite track, as far as I know, is Interlagos, which has a ton of
That's
tight
my favorite track too.
twisties.
mind
Yeah,
you.
I love that track. It's not
careful
my
of that.
favorite, but it's
Yeah.
top 5.
All
No,
right.
I'm not saying I love that track. I'm just saying it's got a lot of bits and pieces to it that I love about tracks. So like some of the other tracks that have those same kind of like tight, flowy sections that James doesn't seem to like for whatever reason, it blows my mind. But Sector 2 in Interlagos is exactly like this.
Well, okay, Michael, real quick. What is your favorite track though? Sorry, we're filling in the void at the moment because we're waiting to see if drivers want to come and have a chat to us.
I'm not sure I have a favorite track, but I can throw an example out there. Is I love Zolder. James can't stand it,
Oh,
but I see
yeah.
Zolder being kind of similar in a way to Interlagos. A little less elevation change, that's for
okay.
sure. But I mean, I don't know. It's just like the tracks that I find that we butt heads with. Sometimes I question.
Well, that's the
because-
beauty of it because everybody has their own opinions of tracks, isn't it? Like we don't have to
Oh,
all
yeah.
agree to disagree. We all just have to go, which track do you like? And that's interesting because Zolder is not something that would be on my list. But then again, I'm only familiar with tracks that I've casted for Formula One or played with the Formula One game. When you get into this adventure or all these other great racetracks around the world, then I get, all right. Well, here's a question for you real quick. Of course, speaking of Australian tracks, Bathurst?
I love Bathurst.
All right.
Top 3.
All right. Now you're ticking all the right
Interlagos
boxes.
is definitely top 5.
What
Don't get me
about
wrong.
Phillip Island if you're going to go to Australia?
Phillip Island, I'm okay with. I feel like a lot of those. I'm not a huge fan of Phillip Island. I'll say that.
All right.
I don't have a problem with it, but it's not my favorite track to race at.
Fair enough. All right, that's okay. Phillip Island is a whole different ballpark. It's actually like more of a motor GP race than anything. Heat 1 results for you to go through real quickly. We're not going to have any interviews at the moment. You can wrap this one up through the results real quick there for us there, Mikey.
Yeah, I'll go through these Heat 1 results. Harry Fox taking the win. John Sylvester taking second place. Arthur Thurtle in third place. Daniel Wehrman in fourth place. Ollie Cole rounding out your top 5. Martin Hobson in sixth place. Michael Johnson in seventh place. Mark Proctor in eighth place. Ryan Dudley in ninth place. Stuart Brierley in 10th place. Joe Glass in 11th. And then we got Lee Rylands in 12th, Scott Kostrick in 13th, Jordan Hadfield in 14th, Joe Willoughby in 15th, Shane Cotton in 16th, Ayrton Hadfield in 17th place, Andy West coming through in 18th place.
All right, we won't go through the rest of them up because we've been through it before, but the feature race now.
Top 18 here for the feature race are going to be Arthur Thurtle in first place, Ryan Dudley in second place, John Sylvester in third place, round out your podium. So Arthur and John both on the podium for both races. Daniel Wehrman in fourth place, Harry Fox just outside of the podium in fifth place, Scott Kostrick in sixth place, Neil Rocks in seventh place, Shane Cotton coming through in eighth place, Joe Glass in ninth place, Ollie Cole having that incident right at the very end of the race coming through, falling back into 10th place, but at least he still got a top 10. Richard Flutie in 11th, Martin Hobson in 12th place, James Fletcher in 13th, Alex Sylvester in 14th, Michael Johnson in 15th, Martin Lee in 16th, Mark Brown in 17th place, and Stuart Brierley rounding out your top 18 here at VIR.
Fantastic job of there, Mr. Michael David, stepping in here this evening as a substitute. Welcome along, of course. Well, bye-bye, Virginia International Raceway. It's been a great event, of course, for the Pro and AEM's classing here at the Tanso Racing Group. Action everywhere. 2 races have determined round 3 and round 4. We'll be back definitely next week for more of the action, and you can follow the action, of course, here on the JPB Broadcasting Network. If you do hit the buttons, like and subscribe, they'll be there. And, of course, look at that web address there. The Tanso-racing.co.uk. If you want to be signing up and be a part of this league, the links will also be in the description. Mikey, to sum up the race.
Oh man, back in the day, I used to love driving through Virginia, and this track is one of the reasons why. It's just absolutely beautiful, undulating through the woods and around to Grandma's house we go. But I love this track, love this racing. Up and down the field all day long, these drivers were great. So definitely excited that I got to experience this and can't wait to see some more from Tanso.